Hello there, I'm RPG Maker Wiz, and today we're going to be finding out what is the best RTP when it comes to RPG makers. In case you don't know, RPG Maker RTPs is a runtime package and contains graphics, music and all files within each RPG Maker creation program that is there when you first install it. You know, some people like to use these resources like graphics even to make their full game. So depending on the RPG Maker, you always get a different one, and we're going to be looking at in this series of which of these is the best. So stay tuned, subscribe for RPG Maker Wiz and like the videos if you want to find which RPG Maker RTP is the best. You can actually download them yourself from here, except RPG Maker MV, which I think is for the reason that RPG Maker MV works differently. You don't need, certainly, like these things explain, you don't need possibly all the RTPs in there in order to make it work, which is I think, much better. But we're going to be finding out how good resources are in RPG Maker 2000. So stay tuned, we're going to be seeing how that will work. So now, as we open the program on here, let's open the folders that you can actually see it yourself. Here we go. Oh, this is not it. Let me actually open it like here. Here we go. RPG Maker 2000. As you can see, this is the folder that I downloaded. You can actually get it yourself even. So it has, of course, different sort of things that might not be fully compatible when it comes to other RPG makers. Still, that doesn't mean that you possibly don't want to use them at all. Like, let's say the backdrops here. Let me actually open these ones. Oh yes, these are very nice ones, and as you can see, I can actually make them somehow even bigger. Here we go, so you can see them here easily. Here we go. Look at these. These are actually pretty nice backgrounds for, let's say, dungeon, forest, ruins, and they are a little bit less scaled, of course, but you can still use them depending on what sort of art style you have in your game. I think especially the shrine, I think, is very good one, this sort of Greek ruin sort of fashion, and the forest as well. If you go to the battle screens, of course, these are the animations again. Let me try to make them even bigger so you can see what they're about. These are also somewhat usable if you scale them in a good sense, and depending, of course, on your art style. There's not too many of them, but I do like the fire breath sort of fashion, like, you know, some kind of dragon fire. Also, when it comes to some of the effects on here and on some of the icons, they are very nice as well. A bit limited, of course, compared to other engines later on, but still. If you go to char sets, this char set and characters are very different from, smaller and different from the others. There are not too many of them, but still quite usable and interesting. As you can see, they are in this sort of a smaller size of, as you can see, very much this sort of like, and also, as you can see, the character sets are also in the wrong kind of phasing depending on which RPG Maker you're using. If you're using the current one, an RPG Maker XP and VX, these are not usable by themselves. You have to do some editing, but still, the sprites are actually pretty nice. There's even a lion in here, and cows and sheep, and yes, and also some monsters. A pig, as you can see. I like the monsters in here. They actually are very good. There's a lot of complex ones in here, and also vehicles, which is there's a different sort of vehicles in here, which I do like a lot. So character sets, I suppose, okay, but not the biggest amount I've seen. Chipsets is basically the tile sets of the whole world. Let me actually try to make it bigger as that. Here we go. Ship parts actually is very good. Otherwise, it's a pretty limited one this has, and also you have to rework them in order to make them work. But still, I like the looks of these. They give you this sort of old feeling of what RPG makers were. So if you want to have this sort of feeling in your game, I suppose looking at these chipsets is not a bad idea. Here we go. Let's get back. Indeed. But I tell you, one of the things is that, it has tents and all this sort of stuff. Usable, I suppose. Faces are, of course, I think, the most limited when it comes to, using them possibly, because they are in a very distinct style, as you can see. If you want to make this sort of comic game, I suppose it's actually good. I like the lion faces actually very much. It looks like some kind of like a very very nice. And there's the bearded, of course, fellow. But you have to do again some rework. But these are essentially usable if you just scale them enough well, indeed. So look at that. Oh yeah, look at that. And that's about that. So let's go back here. There's game over screens that you can actually have, of course, game overs. This is not a very special game over looking one, but still something on there. Monsters actually are very lovely as well. I tell you, I like these monsters quite a lot. They are of course facing directly at you, so you possibly cannot use them all, but still I like how they look. This has done some sort of like a Dragon Quest sort of vibe in them, as you can see. Yeah, the dragons and all look very much like that. Very much so. But now let's go here and see what else we can find. Music is actually very surprising that there's quite a lot of it, actually. I think, can we actually listen these ones? Let me do some setup so we can actually listen some of the music that we have here, indeed. Different RPG, they have, of course, aside from graphics as well, there's some music. And there's some good ones at that, I tell you. Let me test out one of the pieces we have over here and see does it actually function, and then we can actually go forward with this. So let's see battle music. I don't know, can you actually hear it, but we shall see. We shall see. So yeah, you can actually hear the music in here. Very good, very good. So let's go back to the screen. So we have a lot of music, as you can see in here, all of in the MIDI format. So if you want to use it in the modern RPG makers, I think you have to do something with it. And the style is kind of this sort of kind of feeling like RPG Maker XP, this sort of older RPG, but so kind of usable, yeah. I don't know, perhaps, like, I'm not the generation of RPG Maker 2000, so I cannot really connect these to any kind of feeling or memory. Possibly some people that have used this engine beforehand, they can. Yeah, these people, they can. So there's a lot of little battle things. There's also church themes and such. The big boss theme, I think I want to listen to that, of course, that's very... I want to see how that functions. But yeah, there's a lot of different themes on here. Even for, like, and also sound effects as well. A bit limited on that side of the things. Oh no! A big boss music is like this sort of, kind of alright. Let's see how the field music is. Because that also is very much, you can find in every game. Oh, great adventure is on our way. So there's a lot of that sort of stuff as well. There's some panoramas, which I haven't seen in any other things, that you can actually have these sort of different panorama images. Which I like, basically, pictures from other RPG makers. They have already some in there, like parallaxes sort of fashion, yeah. Parallaxes. There's some sounds in here, which are, I think, very similar. Every sound from RPG makers are very similar. They don't do much of that. And there's also some system images to make, the window skins and such. So what I do think about RPG Maker 2000's resources, I tell you, they're actually pretty okay. I tell you that, they in their distinct style, I think there's some usable things. I think even people that want to use perhaps some animals like lions and such, or battles, I think you might use them even in the modern RPG makers. And there's a reason why people say that some of the things when it comes to RPG Maker RTPs have kind of gotten worse and worse over the years. I think some of the aspects in here, like, having different vehicles, a lot of them differently, and such, and many animals, like a lot of animals. it has only lessened. Of course, you can still purchase a lot of assets from their store, which they have very much incentivized. But I tell you very much, this RTP, I would give it, I would personally give it like 8 out of 10. I tell you, you know, in terms of how to really have a lot of variety and such, I think it's very good. RPG Maker 2000. I don't know how it differs from RPG Maker 2003, but you can use this. A lot of this stuff, and I personally believe even for modern times some of these are usable. So hey, we're gonna be doing another one of these videos very soon, which is of course going to be about another RTP, which is RPG 2003 and others later on. So stay tuned and subscribe for RPG Maker Wiz, so you're going to see all of the videos. I wish you a very good day. See you later.